and welcome to Spoiler Alert. My name is Katrina and I am your host this week. Today we will be discussing and reviewing the book Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell. This book talk will contain spoilers for both Carry On by Rainbow Rowell and Wayward Son. Wayward Son is a Teens Top 10 2020 nominee, so you can go check that out, and I have other book talks on those books. If you have already read Carry On and Wayward Son, then you can go to the timestamp in the description. And if you have yet to read Wayward Son, then you can stick around and I will tell you more about it. When we start Wayward Son, we see that Simon is not doing the best. He's quite sad and depressed due to the fact that he lost his purpose, or he feels like he lost his purpose. He no longer has a villain to defeat or a mentor to guide him, and he no longer even has magic anymore. He's just him by himself, a normal person. Well, as normal as you can be with a tail. So, in order to try to cheer him up, Penny and Baz decide to take a change of scenery and travel across the American West. So they run into all sorts of things and they don't really know where they're going. They don't really have a purpose. They run into vampires and dragons and so much more. And at the end of the book, we notice that they really start to question, where were they going? So our first question is, what other books have you read by this author and how did they compare? So personally, I have read most of Rainbow Rowell's books, and I think there's many different ones, because before Carry On and Wayward Son, she wasn't much of a fantasy writer. So I think that the fantasy was really a change for her, because it was really enjoyable, because I love her writing style, but rather than it being about people and their everyday life, it's about these magical characters and how they deal with their things with magic, and it was really interesting. Our next question is, which character did you like the least? And I think the character I liked the least was Penny, because Penny feels like she knows everything, and she feels like she has to know everything. So I think it was really difficult for her to take a step back and really realize, hey, I don't know everything, which she did towards the end, which was a good thing for her. But towards the beginning and middle, and basically the whole book except the end, she really felt like she knew everything, and that kind of made her off to be not the most likable character. So our next question is, did the book feel like it went too fast, too slow, or was it just right? And I personally think that the book went at a good speed, because I think if it were any faster, it would feel way too chaotic and there was everything going on all at once. But any slower and it would kind of feel like it dragged on. So I think that it was a really nice speed for the book. So our fourth question is, what did you like best about this book? And I think what I liked best about this book was that it was so funny. There were times when I was reading that I laughed out loud. It was just so funny and enjoyable, and there were so many jokes, and because they were British going to America, it was a whole different change of scenery for them. So the things that seemed normal to me, because I'm an American, were just totally went over their head, and I think it was very funny to read that. So our last question is, what did you think of the book's title and how did it compare to the contents of the book? And was it relatable? Did it work well? And I think it did, because I'm assuming you know the song Carry On, Wayward Son. So I think it fit in just well enough, but at the same time, it didn't give away anything with the title or the contents of the book. So you could look at the title and not know what it was about, which you could take it as a good or a bad thing. I personally enjoyed it due to the fact that it fit really well with the first book, Carry On. So overall, I really enjoyed this book. I felt like it was a really nice sequel to Carry On, and I think it fit really well with the story because it kind of changed the storyline, and it really wasn't what I was expecting for a sequel to that book. I rated it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I think that it was really nice because there's quite a bit of foreshadowing towards the end, but obviously you couldn't see it until you finished the book and you were like, oh my gosh, how did I miss that? So I think this was a very good book, and I definitely recommend it to you.